He does have a very progressive record as the governor of Minnesota. How do you think he's going to appeal to more moderate voters, perhaps Republicans who are disenfranchised, former Republicans like yourself?
Mm-hmm. Tim and I didn't always see eye to eye on every single issue. But what comes to is his authenticity, his understanding of rural America, the fact that he is a veteran, the fact that he's been a husband, a happily married husband for multiple decades, has a couple of degrees. He comes across as your local rural America high school football coach, friendly, affable, and I think there's so much attention in modern American politics on how we divide people. I mean, how where there's differences, let's hone in on those differences. Tim comes across as, and sincerely is, somebody from middle America, and that genuine warmth, authenticity is something that I think speaks not Republicans, Democrats, Americans, and I think that's something important for our nation, and that's something that I think Tim Wing to this coming election, and I hope he succeeds.
I can only imagine how busy he must be ever since being announced earlier this week. But I know that you guys have a relationship. Have you been able to talk with him since then, or have you talked with former colleagues about his him being the vice presidential nominee?
No, I have not spoken to Governor since his selection by Kamala Harris. I'll share with you, however, just a few weeks ago, I was at the anniversary for D-Day in Normandy, France, and Tim was there. I was with my daughter. At the time, he and I reconnected. There was no discussion. President Biden in the race. This is amazing to think this. This is just 7 weeks ago.
We've lived a different lifetime since then. Yes, it has been multiple lifetimes since then.
Yes, there's been a lot of American history in a very complicated time. But yes, so just 7 weeks ago, we were in, and what I like to your readers, to your listeners, to your viewers here, is that when he and I read our discussion, what we chat, was about how our families are doing. How our kids are doing. We didn't chat about polling or where stab or the Democrat and this is for Congress. It was two husbands, two dads, two veterans, because just talking and reminiscing as that kind of tip that I know. And I think there's too many politicians who constantly are looking at the polls to see, well, how can we get slit head? How can we beat up the side, whether it's Republicans beating up on Democrats beating up on Republicans, that in American politics. So it's enormously refreshing to somebody like Tim, who I read with just a few weeks ago, and a warm discussion that had nothing to do with politics.
I mean, regardless of party, that's really refreshing to hear. Just two people who were on opposite sides of the aisle coming together and talking about life and taking, politics out of it for the moment. But I know that in 2020, you endorsed President Joe Biden. In 2024, are you endorsing the Harris-Walz ticket?
Yes, I did support now President, and in 2020, I am supporting the Harris-Walz ticket. I'm actually excited to have Tim Walz join the ticket here, and I'm looking forward to them. I need more normalcy. We don't need more yelling and pitting, calling, and I think this is...
Charles Djou, I appreciate the conversation today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you can come back again.